From that time on up to today, I'm still a software dev and I'm not bored by it. So as long as it's not boring, I'll keep on doing it. I'm Margaret Achieng, a software engineer at Andela. I'm here to talk about my typical work. My favorite thing about being a software engineer is the fact that it keeps you young, because you keep on having to keep up with what's going on. The technology field keeps on changing every day. Every day you wake up, you have to look at what's new. And every day you code, you realize that someone else has been changing and reinventing the way the software works for it to work more optimal. My typical work day majorly begins at 10 a.m. Brush my teeth, watch a few shows, majorly stand-up comedy, just get a laugh or two, come to the workplace, have lunch with my friends, have conversations about how they have been doing, what's happening in the technology world, get to read a book or two just before work, and then start by looking at code reviews as well as margin PRs that have been approved. Look at our board, what are the stories, the story points, which one do I want to do, how complex is it, and then during stand-ups, during stand-ups you basically say what you've done, what you're doing, and if you have any blockers. So once that is done, you get to actually sit down and get to start your ticket. After that, you can get to unwind with your friends just before going home by playing a board game, having interesting conversations with them. So how I detach from my work day would be mostly get home, have a cold shower or a really warm shower, get to cook popcorns and have a conversation with my sibling, as well as just watch The Real. The most challenging thing about the work that I do is when you do a ticket, put up a PR, and you think you put your heart and sweat into writing that code, and then someone comes 2 minutes later and writes a code review on it, and it's basically a better solution to the problem, and you kind of begin to hate yourself because you don't understand why did that happen, but majorly it's because that's probably a more senior dev than you, and you get to learn a better way of doing that next time. Yeah. Working at Andela has influenced my growth as a software engineer in so many ways. To start with, I was able to build a project from beginner to end because of the support that I received. Initially, as I began my software journey, it was it's always something about consistency, being able to read code and understand it and then code it out instead of just copy pasting the code. That was something that I had to learn, and with patience you get to understand more about how to read code and understand it. And then the second thing is more about the community, participating in open source projects, as well as interacting with other people building a product, peer programming. Those are things that build your muscle as a software engineer. The process of becoming a senior engineer comes with you being able to show your leadership skills as well as your mentoring. I got to do that with as I saw people coming up and joining the fellowship, and during that point I was able to show them the ropes. I was able to make them successful in their role and in their role as software engineers.